So today we're going to start a series called Disabling Distractions. And the first one we're going to hit up is Instagram. That's right, Instagram. So there's a few steps that we're going to walk through, and if you need to pause the video, write down some notes, think through some things. It's kind of a bigger deal than we maybe give it credit for. So the first thing that we're going to do is a little activity to kind of open our eyes a little bit. First thing that you're going to want to do is go open your settings on your phone, and then you are going to go to battery. And then when you open up battery, it's going to show the percentage of battery you have used on different apps, and then you are going to want to press the little clock icon that's over on the right hand side at the top, and that's going to show you the time that you have spent on that app in the last 24 hours and the last 7 days. Ready for it? Go take a look. So I cheated a little bit because I flew for a whole day and I don't have data here in the US. So then I was also unplugged at the conference for 2 days. So in my last week, I only spent 3.5 hours on Instagram. I say only, that's still a lot, but I don't think it's really reflective of my actual Instagram time consumption. So don't measure yours next to mine or anybody else's, but I want you to now ask yourself a couple of questions, other questions. I want you to mentally or physically take down notes on a couple things. So first, how did it make you feel when you looked at that? What was at the top of the list? How much time, maybe the first 3 things on your list took? And I'm gonna guess that Instagram was one of those top 3. So I want you to just take a minute to let that sink in and the amount of time there. So let's do that. And hey, it's very possible that you looked at it and you were like, no, that's totally an acceptable amount of time for me to be on Instagram. If mine was actually 3 hours, I feel like I would be like, you know, that's pretty reasonable. I like to check in with my family. I like to follow these people. It makes me feel good. I share things on there. I do my stories. Like, that would probably feel okay for me. I just know it's not really accurate. What are some things that you have been saying that you don't have time for? So I don't have time to do the laundry, or I don't have time to go for a walk. I don't have time to get caught up on email. I don't have time to spend a long bedtime with my kids. That one gets me right here. So what is it that, or what are the things that you say, I don't really have time for? And then look at that list, and then look at the amount of time, and just sit in that for a second. Like, even for me, if 3.5 hours was correct, like, what could I have done? And I don't mean like how many things could I have crossed off the list, but like how much life could I have experienced? How much joy could I have experienced? I'll tell you a little secret. You need to write it down, okay? Write down why it's important to you. Then I want you to write down how many hours you spent on Instagram in the last week, and I want you to set a goal. I want you to say, this coming week, in the next 7 days, I want to spend less than whatever amount it is for you. So maybe it's like 1% less, maybe it's 5% less, maybe it's 10% less. I, again, don't know your numbers and I don't know where you want to be, but I want you to set a number for you, something that feels doable, and then I want you to write it down, okay? All right, so then I want you to set a little intention, a little why. So why is it, why maybe do you want to cut back a little bit on Instagram? Is it because your number was a little bit embarrassing? Or because you really want some of these things? Or is it because your kids have noticed that you're on your phone all the time and that's not the example that you want to set for them? Is it because you want to move more or you want more out of life? Or because you're numbing yourself? I don't know the answer to that, but I want you to say, like, why? Why is it important to me to maybe let go of this distraction a little bit? Why is that important? And a small disclaimer, I'm not saying Instagram is bad or that it's, the devil. It is a great tool and it can be used for great things, and it can help you connect with people, and it can be a tool to help you relax. If you enjoy just checking in on things, or if you get inspired by people that you follow. So I'm not saying like, let's just cut it out altogether. But I'm just wondering if it's possible, if you ask yourself this question, would I like to trade some of this time for some of these things? And like, maybe you don't really want to trade Instagram for laundry, but should you? So ask both of those questions. Like, should I trade some of this time? Do I want to trade some of this time? Are there some things over here on this list of things that I really want to do, things that I've been saying I don't have time for, that I would like to trade some of this time? I would love to hear any of those kind of things. I'd love to hear how many hours you're starting with, if you're willing to share that, or if you feel like you need to. How many, how much you want to change that this week, what you want to replace it with, and get as specific as you can, and why you think it's important. Why do you think it's important to lessen the time that you spend on Instagram?